All right, Alan, thank you for taking the time to meet with me over Zoom today. We're going to dive right into your financial circumstances. Now, what we've got here is you mentioned you currently have an owner occupied home that you're staying in, as well as an investment property, and are looking to add an extra investment property into your portfolio. Now, you've been working self-employed for the last 13 years. You don't have all the paperwork to support that, but your accountant can vouch for your income and all of that through tax returns, as well as the major thing that you're looking to do really that you put through in your request is that you're looking to cross-collateralize your two investment properties. Now, I do have to mention some issues, risk issues and client tolerance issues that you might face. Again, this isn't financial advice, but what I will say, for example, if you had a normal standalone investment property or a standard standalone investment property, each property is a security for its own mortgage. If you were to default on one, the lender would only have can only sell that specific property to recover the debt. When you cross-collateralize, however, you are pretty much putting the two properties at risk, which means if you default on one, the lender has access to both properties and has access to both loans to either sell or do what they need to do with both properties to make up for the debt or the loan or whatever defaults that you might have experienced during the duration of your loan. Okay, so this puts you at risk of things like let's say, for example, like financial issues, or your investment property, you're not getting the returns that you wanted, or there's any extra expenses that are associated with it and you want to get rid of it. This puts you at a risk where you can't just deal with them independently. You have to deal with that property along with anything else that you've already collateralized with them. Okay. Now, when it comes to your risk tolerance, again, this is not financial advice, but even though you might be willing to take the risks associated with cross-collateralizing your two investment properties, you also have to look at your financial capacity to manage both properties without jeopardizing your financial goals or putting yourself under too much pressure, to the point where you are under excess amounts of pressure, and whether it be due to business ups and downs or whatever reason or whatever the case might be, that you put yourself at risk of losing the investment property that you already had to begin with. All right. Now, I presented two credit options for you already before for you to look at. One of them was the first investment property cross-collateralized. The two investment properties cross-collateralized, and the other was a standalone investment loan with loan equity. Now, with the cross-collateralization, we're looking at a total loan of about $670,000 at 4.5% interest. This is principal and interest, both of them cross-collateralized. So this is the existing investment property plus the new investment property, with the loan that you have left on the existing investment property is $370,000 plus $200,000 for the new home that you're looking to buy in North Brighton, Adelaide. Okay, so that comes up together to about $670,000 loan. Now, when it comes to the standalone investment loan with equity, we're looking at the existing investment property having $370,000 in there, releasing an equity of $100,000, with a new investment property now worth $200,000. The loan total still comes up to $670,000 with a 4.5% interest. However, still principal and interest as well payments. However, the beauty about this is that everything is separate and you don't have to worry about the two of them crossing over, meaning if you lose one, the other one, you can still have peace of mind that you can still keep one of the properties. Now, when it comes to disputes, the IDR, internal dispute resolution, there's four major processes. You initiate a complaint, the firm reviews that you're given certain time frames, whether it be 21 days, 45 days, or 30 days. So 21 days for complaints about financial difficulty, 45 days for complaints about superannuation and traditional trustees, and 30 days for all other complaints. And the idea gives you a response within a specified time frame. If you're not happy with the response, you can take it to the AFCA, which is the Australian Financial Complaints Authority, which for them, they'll give you a registration, a referral, clarification, and investigation, and they'll give you negotiation, and they'll give you a determination. And if the settlement isn't reached, AFCA can make a binding decision for the complaint. Did you have any questions as we get to the end?
Could I cross-collateralize my own occupied home with the investment property to be bought?
Yeah, no. So look, so this isn't financial advice again. However, there are a few risks that you are going to get if you cross-collateralize your owner-occupied home with the investment property. For starters, you're putting your family home at risk. You don't want to tie an uncertain asset to a certain necessity, which the certain necessity being your home. You do lose the flexibility, and you just have to deal with a lot of stress. I wouldn't recommend it. But again, at the end of the day, it is your choice. What you do have to think is, do I want to put my house at risk for an investment property that I'm not sure, or at least 100% sure, is going to work out? Again, it depends on your risk appetite and what risks you're willing to take. But for me personally, just as a human being to another human being, I think it is worth you speaking to a financial advisor, and worth you actually calculating and gauging the risks that you're willing to take for your house. Perfect. Thank you.